Good evening. It is another new stream, and today we're going to talk about womanizing doesn't make you a bad person. We're wrapping up to the election cycle, and like everyone knows or will find out, we start to shift from hoes ain't shit to we need to vote to save the country. Now, it is a midterm election, so it's not that big a deal, but morality is going to be making its way into dating, intersexual dynamics, manosphere discourse, and all that crap. So we're going to start picking sides. Guys are going to start picking sides, whether it be the perceived groups of people online. Perceived is doing a lot of heavy lifting. So if you are, you have the black pillars, look smackers, you have the right wing, you have the extreme right wing, you have this, you have that, you have religious ortho bros. Everyone's gonna, and it's all a matter not of, uh, it's all a matter of morality, which beliefs you hold, which ones are the better beliefs. And yes, for a while, if you're not experienced, this is gonna be extremely appealing to you. But it's not gonna solve your woman problem. None of these. None of these. There is no ideology that will solve your woman problem. There are ones that could sort of overlap, sorry, with a little bit of red pill concepts like, hey, if you're right wing, you're most likely gonna be more inclined to self-improve, to take accountability, to work harder. And those are things that are good. But work harder for who? Get jacked for who? Sacrifice for who? See, and that's where it stops. But again, we're gonna talk about today that there is a subsect of people, which is womanizers, the Don Juans, the players, the Chateau Hartis of the world, PUAs, whatever you want to call it, whatever the society perceives it as. We're going to talk about like why does sleeping around with lots of women make you a bad person? Does knowing how to charm a woman or charm more than one make you a bad person? Does sleeping with multiple women at the same time, aka spinning plates, make you a bad person? Now, morality is subjective, but we do have some kind of goal. I would say like we have set things that most people would deem as bad. Like for example, murder is bad. No matter who you are, unless it's for a just cause, like you're trying to save someone else's life, or you're fighting for your country, or you're trying to protect somebody like a child, or we agree that those things are okay. But for the most part, murder is bad, right? And there's a universal morality here that I'm not trying to get too much into philosophy, right? But it just seems like, hey, these things, the average person on earth knows that they're wrong. Only psychopaths don't understand why certain things are wrong. But a lot of guys are concerned when getting into dating about what's going to happen to them if they sleep around. And as you know, it's interesting because when you are out there uh, hooking up with women or dating or whatever, it's never going to be like at your pace. And this is what a lot of guys need to understand. It's never at your pace. It's not, hey, this week I'll sleep with 2 women. There's going to be weeks where you just have 4 girls that want to see you out of nowhere. It could be an ex, and then that one girl that ignored you last week all of a sudden is free and wants to see you. And then you have your girl that you just hooked up with 2 days ago. She wants to see you again. And then, um, old flame, whatever, right? Everyone, and then there's weeks where there's just nothing, like no girl, everyone's busy, whatever, and that's the life. There's ups and downs. You don't have much control about which one wants to see you. You have control over when you're available, right? You could say, "Hey, I'm available this," and if they say no, no. But yeah, and you're gonna wonder on those weeks or those stretches or those runs where you sleep around a lot, what's happening to me? Am I a bad person? What's gonna go on with my mentality, my morality? I'm letting people down, and all these things that go through a guy's head because again, you were trained that when you enjoy things or when you sleep with multiple women, it's bad. You're meant to sleep with one woman. You're only doing this and a lot of guys rationalize, "Oh, I'm only doing this because 'cause I'm heartbroken," or "I'm only doing this because I want revenge," or something, or "I'm only doing this because, no one never loved me." Like, trying to rationalize your biology through morality and breaking of the rules and all that, and they try to make it sound badass, like, "I sleep around with a woman because I was never loved," or, "You can blame my girlfriend, she's the one that made me into this." I'm like, "Okay, bro, relax, Darth Vader. It isn't that serious, but we're gonna go through does it actually make you a bad person? And it's a nuanced thing. And I thought that this would bring a little bit of value for you guys because yes, men still care about how they're perceived, and it's normal. We're human. However, like we're not. There is a certain eroticism that comes with uh, dating women and getting what you want in general. Just killing it in life. There's a certain eroticism because you feel guilty. You feel like, hey, I shouldn't be having this much fun. I shouldn't. Girls shouldn't be falling into the palm of my hand. You know, but we'll get on with it. So, let's see here. I have prepared, of course, a couple of slides for you guys, and I will bring them up here. But first, let me retweet this on X. X is not showing up my, it's not showing the stream, so I have to like literally um retweet it. Let me see. Hold on. View on X. Hold on. Okay, so now it's so weird. All right, let's see. How do I retweet this? Oh, here we go. Share, post this. Okay, post. Alrighty. So now it's posted on X. So hopefully we get a couple more people in here. All right. So I have prepared some slides and we're going to talk about this. How's everyone doing tonight? All right. So today's presentation, kids, is about uh, neutrality of the man in the arena. And I say this because neutral is going to be the operative word today. It's going to be the most important, uh, kind of like the center tone of today, and it's going to be what we want to achieve is neutrality. And that's not. And really, guys, I don't believe men that who have never had issues with women say they're neutral about women. Most men aren't neutral about with women until they've had their canon event. They're zeroing out. They're rage phased. They figure it out, and they finally are like, "Hey, it was it was always my decision to on how I feel about women, but I just needed to learn about them and accept them." So, why high volume experience, not morality, is a cure for misogyny. So, and these are based on observations of the sexual marketplace, guys. And if there's any errors in here, yeah, yeah, I just put it on YouTube. So, alrighty. So let's get started. Hey guys, and if you would like to ask questions before I'm done with the slides, please super chat. Other than that, I'll save the questions for later when I'm done. So, okay, we'll start with this. The sitcom villain. Society portrays sexually successful man as cartoonish predator or a spellcaster using forbidden magic to seduce innocent women. And then here you have, kind of like the emotionally unstable, predator, morally bankrupt, pervert. And if you guys don't believe me, think of all the characters in popular media that are womanizers. You have your Glenn Quagmire. And what was Glenn Quagmire? He was a pervert. He manipulated and lied to women. He was always hitting on his friends' wives, and he was an opportunist. And that is what in popular media, popular culture, players, womanizers, or guys that just like to have sex with multiple women are portrayed as. They're portrayed as morally bankrupt people. Yeah, giggity. Yeah. Yeah, and think of another one. Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother. He's famously known for being a womanizer, for being good with women. And for what it's worth, out of all the representations of womanizers, he seems to be the most like less egregiously, like you could tell that the writers kind of liked him. But even then, throughout the show, they made him show weakness. They made him the fact that he's a womanizer is some response to a girl never liking him or rejecting him, and so on and so forth, right? It's an emotional appeal. Hey, the reason you're a womanizer and you're a bad person or whatever, blah, 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 is because no one ever loved you the way you did. Just an emotional appeal. It's lame. Why can't we be womanizers? Because we want to. Why can't men be womanizers? Because we enjoy the chase. Why can't men be womanizers? Because we just have different tastes with different women. You know, um, so yeah, and for what it's worth, like Kyle says here, Two and a Half Men was good. Yeah, Two and a Half Men. There are positive displays of men that are sexually uh, successful with multiple women. It's just hard to find, and most of what you'll see in Hollywood is guys that are good with women. You'll find that guys, the characters that are good with women are also have a lot of negative traits attached to that. And for them, the character development is them understanding that one girl is better than three. Do you see the thing that popular media does? That's why when guys are growing up, it's hard for them to be the guy that sleeps around mentally because they see all these movies and they were taught that, hey, a guy that's good with women, there's something wrong with you. And you have to buck up, and your character development for those kind of characters are finding one girl and one love. That's it. So yeah. All right. Moving on. So the projection paradox. So we have the critic and the player. The most morally bankrupt men are men who don't have sex. Um, and you may think, well, hold on. I've seen, we've heard of the Epstein files, and we've heard of like Diddy. Guys, but these are extreme cases. These people are millionaires and billionaires, and normal sex with normal women is not enough. They need more because they just have it. It becomes boring to them. These people are sick, and they have a level of abundance that no human being should have. And when they finally get some of that, it's just never enough, right? And that's different. That's not the average person. Even millionaires don't have to be that way, or powerful people in society. Plenty of powerful men are able to be monogamous. Plenty of powerful men are able to run a rotation and all that stuff. There's it, they're just trying to use extreme examples to shame men that get laid as evil. So the critic is under F, views women as objects to be protected, and projects failure. And the player, he's experienced. He views women as people, morality through abundance. Now, morality, again, is a subjective term. Maybe I shouldn't have used that word in this slide, but think about it like this. The guys on the internet that whether it be the incel guys or traditional conservatives or the black pillars or the guys that advocate for marriage, blah blah blah, whatever, religious guys, they all have the same problem, and it's they see women as objects. Now it's crazy that I'm arguing that a man with that gets laid a lot does not see women as objects, and the guys that are use morality as their sexual strategy do see women as objects. It's crazy. It's a crazy flipping of the board, or flipping of the dynamic that we've been taught in society. Why is it that men who get laid are able to see women as objects more than men that are, religious, that just want to sleep with one girl and sacrifice for her? Well, here's the thing. With enough experience, you as a guy that is good with women, you're going to start understanding what it is, what agency is. So all these guys, you'll see debates about who is marriage worth it, or you see a debate about what do women want, or you see a debate about like how to do this with women, and all these shows, debates, and discourse or whatever you call it, all forget one thing: women make choices. Women make choices. Sometimes those choices align with you. Sometimes they don't. A guy who gets laid understands rejection. He understands that women change their mind. He understands that, hey, women, if you do nice things for them, it doesn't guarantee anything from women. He understands the fickleness of her emotions. He understands that, hey, I could be the best lay in the world and she'll be gone. She could be gone tomorrow. Or, hey, I could be terrible in bed. She could be there just to try again, just to make sure you're terrible 10 more times. And this is the this is the thing that really separates the men from the boys. And that's why the slide is like black and white. It's because it's such a and the thing is, guys that get laid, guys that get it, we laugh at guys that are constantly trying to uh, appeal to women and disguise it as other things, right? Debating whether marriage is worth it or not for men, I get it, yes, but what do the women? What are the women doing? And this is now that it changes. Women don't want to get married. That we see their actions. They're putting it off till forever, right? They're putting off 15 years sometimes, right? They turn 18 and they don't get married till 33. So 15 years they didn't want to get married. They put it off as much as possible. And now men are arguing that, hey, should we get married? I'm like, women have a choice here. What do the women want? And guys that get laid and guys that understand women understand that, hey, the relationship is up to her. Now, that's not to say that you can't opt in or opt out. You can, but ultimately, she has a say. She gets to decide, hey, I want to be with you. I don't. Hey, I want to just hook up. And the player understands this, and he's just like, okay, whatever, cool. Or says, hey, I'm not down with that, and just moves on. He understands that women are free to make choices. The critics of players, they view women as objects, whether it be objects for them to have babies with them, or objects to be protected, or objects to be whatever. And the player understands, hey, this woman had sex with me because she wanted to. This woman showed up here to see me because she wanted to have sex. It's not because I was taking advantage of her, and it's not because she's taking advantage of me. It was a choice. She woke up and said, I want to do this. And when she leaves you, you say the same thing. She wanted to leave me because she wanted to, not because I was terrible, not because I was too awesome or too whatever. She said one day, hey, this isn't working, and she left. The critic, it doesn't view women like that. He views women like, hey, if I do certain things, she'll stay. And this is why I say alphas free women and betas entrap them, because betas expect something. We don't have expectations. We say, hey, she's not ours, it's just our turn. And as long as you understand that, you understand that she could leave tomorrow. Will you be sad? Yes. If it was your wife or girlfriend, yes, it will devastate you. But it is what it is. There's no more to discuss. There's no negotiation here. And this is why sleeping with multiple women is so important. And that's why being the player, these guys, we're the most calm, relaxed, kind of accepting of women's nature. And it's seen as like we're some kind of like cowards. Oh, you're just gonna let women do this, blah blah blah. You're just gonna have sex, and you're ruining it for the rest of us. Or you can't let women just do whatever they want. Like I don't have a choice here, dude. I'm playing my role. Women set it's ruthless law. Women set the expectation what I'm supposed to do, and they said it, and I met it, and I met it multiple times, and I'm like, okay, cool. Then I go back to my life. So yeah, um, we as men that are good with women, we see them as more human. Now, does that, because we see them as human, don't get it twisted. Do we have negative views on certain women? Yeah, I have plenty of negative views on certain women, but it's almost like an individual case. It's almost like, hey, this particular woman sucked. Maybe she sucked in bed. Maybe she wasn't pleasant to be around. Maybe she didn't wear deodorant. Maybe she catfished me. And I just look back and be like, okay, this particular woman I'm not attracted to her, or I don't want to see her again. But these women do. So I'm going to focus on women that I enjoy and women that honestly make it easy for me. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna swim against the current. So, all right, let's move on. Let me know if this is good pace, guys. All right, the misogyny spectrum. We have here in the middle, neutrality, the man in the arena, observation. We have the blue pill on the left, which is pedestalization and worship, and the red pill rage on the right, the demonization and anger. While the online world fights a gender war, the experienced man is calm. He sees women as people, flawed, incentivized, and prisoners of biology. Experience does not breed hatred; it breeds clarity. Okay, so again, people like to use the word gender war to describe some kind of uh, the collection of forum posts, tweets, podcasts, uh, another social media posts, shorts, and other things. Uh, to kind of, or maybe political statements and policies as well, to kind of boil down or to show everyone, hey, men and women are at odds with each other. We're fighting, we hate each other. And then you have the middle of the road people like, I wish there was no gender war. We got to start loving each other, man. Like that bullshit. I'm like, great, that's not helpful. Thanks for being Mr. Thank you, Mahatma Gandhi of the hose. You're not helping. So there is no real gender war. And I've always said it's actually worse. It's actually that men and women have less to offer each other than ever before in human history. We don't need each other anymore for survival. And this is the first generation or the first time in history where women are making as much money or more than we are, where women don't need us because technology is kicked in and taken a lot of our roles. And not only have they taken our roles, they've freed up more time for them to do other things. Whereas before, sweeping the house would have taken you a whole afternoon. You just set a Roomba and walk away and go do something else. Or hey, you order groceries instead of walking to the store for 2.5 hours finding food. Or you order food, or you order whatever, like technology has kicked in to kind of free up women and emancipate them from ourselves and chores, stuff to do. And that's what's happening. And then men, a lot of them think they need women to be happy, but eventually they realize, wait a minute, I've been going on dates for years now, for months. I have sex once in a while, but like women don't fulfill me beyond sex. And I'm just cool. Like I don't, I don't have a purpose in a woman's life because all I do is have sex. And if they want to settle down with me and have a relationship, it's like, what am I even doing? We're a partnership. What does that mean? That means that you have to live with somebody that, what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Men don't know what even the purpose is of a relationship anymore. They're starting to figure out, like, hey, I got to work extra hard and to qualify to spend money on one woman for the rest of my life in return for maybe sex and one kid, because she's already pushed it off to like her early to mid 30s. It's like, great, thanks. What a deal. And now I have someone to tell me to fill up my calendar and tell me what to do and when to do it. Great. I appreciate. Awesome. Thanks. What a deal. So, all right. So, how does this spectrum start? So, blue most men blue pill, and the blue pill reality is that you pedestalize women, you worship them, you want them to be safe. You blue pill men are useful idiots of society. They let women manipulate them or use their protector instinct against them to get what they want out of them. So, and then once you unplug and once you figure out that this was all a lie, you go into your red pill rage, which is demonization. You think women are the antichrist. You think that they are the cause of all your problems, and you are ultimately they are the enemy, right? And not the funny Patrice O'Neill enemy. I'm talking about the enemy like they are the reason you can't be successful. They are the reason you can't enjoy anything anymore. It's like they're the antichrist. And you're just angry. It's the red pill rage face. You're just angry, angry, angry all the time, forever. And it's gonna burn you. You're gonna spend months, years There's probably guys that have been a decade angry at women and haven't been able to realize, hey, the red pill is about self-actualization. It's not about hating women. It never was. It's for accepting them for who they are. And after you accept them for who they are, you can decide, do I want a relationship eventually? Do I want kids? Do I just want to play the field forever? Do I want to live in the mountains and never see one again? Sure, it's up to you, but you have to accept them for what they are because women don't care either way, right? So, yeah. While the online world fights gender war, the experienced man calm. He sees women as people, flawed, incentivized, and prisoners of biology. Experience does not breed hatred, it breeds clarity. Yeah, and here's another thing. For what it's worth, another thing is you don't actually dislike women. Men don't dislike women. As a matter of fact, a lot of us are willing to die for. We have a list of women we'd be willing to die for. That's how much we love women. And we love women so much that it's destructive. We love women so much that women are hate us for it and punish us for it because it's just too much. Women are begging us to be a little bit more mean to them. Not too much, but more interesting, more mean because women are honestly sometimes like women hate the fact that we just throw money at them, but they just take it anyway because they're like, I need something out of this because I hate having to always deal with these men that worship me. It makes me feel like inhuman. So if you do get laid and you do see women for what they are, you're going to start seeing like, oh, like what this human being, women are a mess. Women don't know understand money. Women don't understand like height. Women don't understand a lot of things. They're very limited, flawed creatures, just like men. And hating women or loving women are both, it's still pedestalizing women. It's still making them more important than they really are in your life. So once you've gotten over your red pill rage and you return back to center, and when I mean center, I mean like enough to where you can operate within the gynocentric system and not dislike women, um, then yeah, you'll get laid more. You'll realize, and I'm going to talk about how women can feel that you're not either of these. And it's crazy because when I was in my red pill rage phase, I got laid, but it was just, it's almost like I didn't enjoy women. It's almost like I was like expecting them to act up, expecting them to do bad things. And then over time, I got over it. And then, yeah, I see women do bad things, and then I see women do great things. And I realized all along it was up to them to prove to me on an individual basis their qualities. So, yeah, like I say, her virtues and qualities are hers to demonstrate, not for you to go digging and find out, or to for you to predict, or for you to make theories like, oh, she has a tattoo on her forearm. This woman is evil. She's gonna cheat 100 times on me. But how do you know? You let her prove that to you. Let her come to you and say and try to prove to you. Now you don't have to sit there and be like, "Woman, prove to me you're a good person," right? Just watch her. Are you having a good time? Right? And this is the problem with men. We're so neurotic now that we see a woman with like one tattoo on her leg or something, or one tattoo on her forearm, and we're just like, "Yep, she's a cheater." I'm like, "Maybe, maybe," but you know what you're doing? You're pedestalizing women that don't have tattoos. You're making them you're putting them on a pedestal by process of elimination. So, how about this? How about whether a girl looks perfect and is perfect on paper or a girl looks like a mess? Let her prove to you, let her demonstrate her values and whether she's fun or not to be with. It's not your problem. All right, so let's start with lesson 1. The death of revenge. And there's a graphic of a sword or a dagger and a guy that's just dropped it on the ground. Must be heavy because it cracked the ground. But when you witness the reality of the market, anger dissolves. You see smart, beautiful women self sabotage with petty vices and bad decisions. You realize they are victims of their own nature, and frustration turns to pity. And this is important, guys. Men that don't date, men that don't have any type of relationship except, hey, I want to marry you. Like every woman they meet is a candidate for marriage. These men have never had long-term casual relationships or arrangements where they were able to see um they were able to see what she really was. Right? I'll tell you the most honest relationship you'll ever see from a woman, or the most honest you'll ever get from a woman, is her not wanting to be in a relationship with you, but keeping you around for sex. That is where you're gonna learn the bulk about women. You can sleep with women every day, all the time. But if you have a long-term casual relationship with a woman or several, you're gonna learn a lot because there is no pressure for her. If she loses you, she's only lost a dick, and dick means nothing to women. Now, does she enjoy you? Yes. Does she feel like, does it solve the problem of her not getting extra bodies or adding to her body count? Yes, it's actually a really great strategy for women while they search for their boyfriend. However, you're gonna learn a lot because you're there, you're in the front seat. She doesn't care about letting you down. She doesn't care about how you see her. She just wants to have fun and wants for you to treat her to like a certain level of dignity because she's seeing you often. So, um, you're gonna date some of these women on a longer timeline than just 2 or 3 weeks, maybe for months, and you're gonna see, wow, um, women are women make a lot of bad decisions, and women self-sabotage so much, it's insane. And here's the thing, you're gonna see so much potential in certain women, you're gonna be like, "Wow," like, "This woman should be with a Giga Chad kind of family man," and she can get him because she can get me to stick around, so but they can't, guys. They're just it's like Forward Playboy says, they get lost in their own neighborhood. They don't even know what money is. A lot of women just go into debt and they don't even know they're in debt. They just keep swiping their credit card and be like, "Yay." And, and we work and then we want to be and we think that we have to qualify to them. Like, we better be good men for these women that constantly wreck themselves and get into car crashes um, and their friends betray them and all these things. They can't even take care of their own pets. And yeah, they have petty vices like vaping. I've dated women that are gorgeous and they vape. And I'm like, why are you vaping? Why? That stuff's not good for you. Now, did I tell them that? No, I shut up. Just like if my friends vaped, I wouldn't tell them anything. But it's just like, wow, and I've seen women that make a lot of progress with their weight and they lose all the weight and they get hot. And I'm like, wow, she's gonna leave me any second. Right. And then out of nowhere, she just gains 30 pounds again. I'm like, wow, great. And guys, this is what's gonna happen. Like I've been in situations where girls leave, they try a relationship, it doesn't work out, and they come back. I've had like that like 4 or 5 times in my life. And I've had situations where a girl wanted me to be her boyfriend, but she couldn't wait like 3 months for me to figure my life out or something. And she's like, no, I'm gonna date someone else. And then, they end up dating a guy that's I'm not gonna say better than me or worse. I'm just saying that like, oh, I was not expecting this. And they break up she breaks up with that guy, and then she's messaging you again. I'm like, "Hey, I'm not some elf on the shelf, I had feelings for you, so I can't be emotionally involved. We can have sex, but I cannot be emotionally involved because I used to have feelings for you, so it's over. Like, we can hook up, but that's it." So, um, there you go. Women with gambling prob yeah. Yeah, women have gambling problems too. Women are messy. And you'll see over time that these are the people we think are the enemy. These people are destroying the fabric of the world. And yes, I guess, maybe to some extent, but in your life personally, this is who you want to who you think is ruining your life. And then ultimately your frustration turns to pity. And I was in a space earlier today, and a lot of these things are for you guys that are just starting out in life or starting maybe you're just recently single, or you're trying to learn this red pill stuff, or start dating. A lot of this stuff is weird to hear because it's almost like everything is opposite. So once you have sex with women, you turn it turns almost into pity. And I've dated women that, like, are pretty, and they have thin, pretty, even great in the sack, and it's just still, like, you you're smoking, and you're paying off your mortgage or your rent with a credit card, and you're not making any moves, you're just letting life happen to you. And it's like, "Oh, shit." These are the times in your life when you finally understand women are not out to get you. They can barely function themselves. Can they run companies? Yes. But can they parallel park? No. I've seen women that, like, they can't handle their little puppy. I dated a girl once that had a corgi, and she was working from home, and I came in to just, like, I forgot what I came in her house for that day, and she looked so stressed because her puppy was just running around the apartment. Adorable puppy, and she was, like, literally having an anxiety attack over that. And I'm like, "Do you want me to pick him up?" Or, like, she's like, "I don't know what to do," and she just put him on the balcony and locked the door and went back to work, and I'm like, "Wow, that is stressful for women." Like, when my dog starts acting weird, I could be on the phone call with my CEO or someone important while the the water's boiling on the stove so I could put food on it, like pasta in it, while someone's knocking at the door, and I'll handle that just fine. A woman just cannot handle a little puppy running around her apartment. She'll lose her mind, right? Um, so out of all of this, you can only get this when you sleep around with some girls and you see their lives. And then guys will finally realize, why am I arguing with these women? Why am I mad at them? Why do I believe that they're the worst thing that ever happened to me or what happened to the world? Why do I care about anything? Because not they have been they're not the enemy, right? They have an enemy and it's themselves. So yeah. Yeah, they love to run around and don't let the short legs fool you. Corgis can run. So, yeah, I got a whole PowerPoint presentation. This is a class, sir. Oh, all right, let's move on. All right, lesson 2, Amused mastery. Words over actions, and we have, like, a sound bite, I guess, reminiscent of a voice message, and actions, an actual footprint, someone actually going somewhere and doing something. I'm not sure what that means, but sure. You learn that what a woman says doesn't matter, but rather what she does. This realization is the foundation of reality, not scientific study or religious morality, but the shared observation of behavior. And that is why a lot of folks don't like the red pill because, yeah, scientists will be like, well, 30% of people with this, and do this, actually, 67% of those people want to do what 35% of these other people. And I'm like, okay, cool, great. How does that help me on a date? How does it help me deal with women? It doesn't. It's just it's useless for a guy. It has nothing to do with anything. So, um, when guys get together and say, "Hoes ain't shit, but this is how you get in bed with them," or "Hoes ain't shit, but here's how to deal with your wife," or "Hoes ain't shit, but here's how you get laid," or whatever. People don't like that. People don't like that. When we all pool our observations and some of us sort of agree, and the ones that disagree are like, "Hey, this worked for me. Try it." Right? We're all have a goal, and that the goal is to get laid and and be content with our wives or girlfriends or spinning plates, whatever we want. People don't like that. They have to make women this kind of, like, colossal end game level threat, Avengers level threat, where we have to study them and we have to repeal the 19th and we gotta do religion. We gotta, like, throw the Bible at them so they can act right. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, there's this, in the red pill, there's this saying that, hey, there is no revenge fantasy. And I agree. However, on a societal level, no. But on an individual level, I always said you will get your revenge fantasy from time to time, but you won't like it. And the difference is you're going to meet women and maybe have sex with them or have a family member or anything, women in your life that generally treated you well. Like, the first date was fun, having sex with fun. She exited with dignity. She hit you up and say, I had a girl I used to see that she texted me, "Hey, I finally found. I followed your advice, and I'm getting married now. I just want to let you know, thank you." It's 2 times in my life women have thanked me because I gave them advice that helped them get married. And I have proof of one of them because they came on my YouTube show, or I interviewed them on YouTube, and I was genuinely happy for them. I'm like, wow, good. But there's women that are awesome, women that are talented, cute, have a lot of things going for them, and they're gonna be single, and you're gonna see them gain weight. You're gonna see them be miserable, make cope posts on social media like Valentine's Day, or post a Christmas picture of her alone with just her dog or just herself, not even friends, right? You're gonna see her living in a dingy apartment somewhere, and it's not gonna make you feel good. You're not gonna be like, "Ha ha, serves you right, ho." You're gonna be like, "Man, this girl used to be so cute. She gained 30 pounds. She's chubby now, and she ain't got a man. Tough." You're not gonna cry for her, right? But you're gonna be like, "What a shame," you know? So, yeah. Us Air Force guys are dealing with the PowerPoint, yeah. Don't worry, I'll move quickly. This is why I love being an NSA civilian. I can pit you military guys against yourselves and get the work done while you bicker on the form details. Ah, man. Eh, damn X-Runner. Yeah, yeah, exactly. If girls are your enemy, you need better enemies. Like, come on, man. Really? All right, lesson 3, the secret society. So, uh, women pick up on men who get it. And what do I mean by get it? Get it is like men that understand that the game is played and not explained. When you're on a date with a girl, she doesn't care about statistics or politics. Even if she could come up on the date wearing a MAGA hat. I don't in a MAGA 2024 shirt. And you still should not talk about politics. She wants you to play with her and play with her. She does not want to be explained anything. She doesn't care about your crypto. She doesn't care about anything technical about the economy or about history or any of that pussy drawing stuff. She wants you to have fun. And it doesn't matter if she's some 40-year-old cougar you picked up at the bar or some 23-year-old college chick. It's the same thing. They're bored to death. They are bored. Women have nothing going on in their lives, and that's another thing. These women are the way they are, and they mouth off all the time, and they're saying crazy things on the internet and in their personal life because they're bored. There's no one giving them that indignation and that high they need. The men in their life are not doing their job, at least her boyfriend or husband. So, um, and then once women kind of figure, oh, he's passing my shit test, he's playing along, he's not making me feel like a slut, he's not asking me about what my relationship goals are on the first date. He's simply just playing along, having a good time, and the barrier of neuroticism dissolves. Like women start they let their guard down. And I know on a date, it's been a long time since I've been on a date, but I know that moment when a woman finally relaxes. What they do is their body language gets open, right? They uncross their legs. They lean forward. They start touching your face. Like you've broken the barrier of trust and you're in. And guys really need to understand that when women put on these crazy facades or crazy bios on Tinder or Hinge or Bumble, whatever, like I'll only date this type of man, or if you're not Republican or you're not Democrat or this, it's all a shit test. She's trying to weed out men that don't get it. And you know which guys are good with women because the guys good with women can see it for what it is. It's just, hey, she doesn't want to be on a date with guys that don't get it. That's why she puts these things to kind of filter out. And the guys get mad. They're like, "Oh, can you believe that this woman won't sleep with me unless I'm 6'3"?" And then you match with her and you're mad. Hey, how much do you weigh, sis? If you're gonna, and I'm like, come on, dude, you passed the test. She matched with you. She saw that you were 5'9" or 5'10" in your profile. right? She saw it. She accepted it. She thought you were cute, and now you gotta call her out because she put in her profile that she needs a guy that's over like that's 6'4", 6'3". Dude, she doesn't really care about that. She's just trying to filter guys out. All right. They open up immediately, relieving you of the need to guess. Yeah, and this is why it's important, guys, to not judge women on a first date, on a second date, on a third date, or ever. Why? What does it do when you judge women or give that impression that you're looking for purity? What are you looking for? Oh, I want to get married one day. Oh shit, I better not tell them about how I like to do gangbangs, or I better not tell them about how the reason I went on this date because I fetishize whatever race he is, right? I've been on dates where I've told a woman, "Hey, I'm Dominican," and their eyes prop up, and it was just like the conversations got really short. The conversations got really much shorter on the date, and she started looking towards the door and saying, "Hey, do you live around here?" Because she felt like, okay, this guy's really cool. He's not judging me, and he seems very open. I'm just gonna have sex with him. There's no risk here. He's not gonna mouth off. He's not gonna make me feel like a slut after the fact. Good to go. I'm gonna enjoy myself, this race of man that I haven't had. And it could be other things, you know, it could be like, oh, you're just tall. Or maybe, oh, I never had sex with a lawyer and she'll do it just because you didn't judge her. And you need to understand, um, judging her is gonna and maybe you will, but she'll make you wait, or she'll give you mediocre sex, or she'll put you in the box of guys I'm gonna make wait because they don't get it. So you'll find out on date one what it took her future husband 10 years to discover. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. You guys have seen the posts by what's his name on Twitter? Uh, uh, Bad Billy Pratt, the account. He always posts Reddit uh screenshots of sites where people bitch about their relationship, their wife, their husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. And a lot of those posts, if not more than half of them, uh, they have stories about a guy finding out that his wife was kind of a hoe in college, or kind of a hoe in the relationship before, or did something early on when they were getting to know each other before they were official. And the guy can't even look at his wife or his girlfriend in the eye because he had this really pure vision of her, you know, the Madonna horror complex. But a guy who's on a first date that kind of like lets her know implicitly, "Hey, you ain't gotta do all that shit about trying to pretend you're a good girl. You're innocent compared to me, I promise." She's gonna be telling you on the first or second date, "Yeah, I've always wanted like if I could list out the things that I found out on a first date, it I know Bull Rush. I can't outdo Bull Rush or Jack, but I have found out things about women that I'm like, "Holy shit." Right? Like, "Whoa, first date already? I must seem like a very safe guy." And I'm not the beta safe. I mean like the hot guy she wants to have fun with and doesn't care because I don't judge. I found out that I dated a girl. Okay, what's the damn, I wish I knew the freaking genre. But there in manga, there is like different classifications of smut based on what's in there. For what it's worth, this is really pervy stuff. But I went on a date with a girl. I think she was Mexican and young. She was like 25, and she told me she was into this type of manga where it's like young androgynous looking boys or men, and they would have sex, like romance, and have sex with each other. I don't know what the genre was, and I think I blocked it out because I couldn't believe it. But I'm just like, whoa. And yeah, and the thing is, she was super normal about it. She told me like it was nothing. Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, this is what I'm into." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna kiss another man in front of you." She's like, "No, no, no, it's only a yaoi." Is that what it's called? Yaoi? Am I saying this right? Yeah, it's just I don't know if it was even sexual. It was like more like romance, like two gay boys kissing. I don't know what it was. It was the weirdest thing ever, and I didn't judge. In my mind, I did. I'm like, "This is weird." I don't ever wanna hear about this if I don't have to, but hey, if you wanna talk about it, please. by all means. But I never gave the impression. I found out on a first date, um, let me see, what else have I found out? I don't even know, I don't even think I could say it on YouTube. Yeah, I don't think I can say a couple of these things on YouTube. And for what it's worth, guys, there's gonna be things, not even sexual things, that are going to take you off center. Uh there used to be this girl that went to salsa night, and she was a big tease. She liked to tease all the men and act all flirty and all that stuff. And, for what it's worth, I'm like, yeah, I mean, people use dancing nights to get their ego stroked or to feel attractive. I got it, cool. And one day she went up to me, um, and I was like, "Hey, how was your trip? Glad to have you back." Very kind of like normal conversation, right? And I was just getting my drink, and she's like, "Oh, it was great. I had a foursome." Like, just like that, just rattle it off like nothing, just dropped it on me, put me on my back leg. I was like, "What?" But I didn't act like that, right? I, like, swallowed my drink a little, right? And I was just like, "Oh, cool." Like, where was it? Like, what do you say to that, right? How do you react? How do you respond to that without, you know and I just said, "Oh, that's cool." Like, was it in a hotel? Even with my response, I still felt like I still probably gave off the impression that I was shocked. But, I mean, what can you do? But anyways, yeah, once women, like, kinda trust you and they know that you're not trying to hook up with them like that in a social situation, yeah, you'd be surprised. One day, I was getting a ride home, and I had 2 mutual friends that were dating each other. And one of them was Korean, and one of them was a white guy. And the white guy was obviously kind of out of my uh, uh, female friends' league, objectively, right? If you saw this guy looked like Justin Waller, maybe a little bit thinner, and he was like 6'2", salt of the earth, blue collar guy. And she was like, kind of, I love her to death, right? But she was kind of pudgy and dorky. And for what it's worth, that's why I like her, because she's just a fun person. But she was giving me a ride home one day, and she was just talking about, like, I don't know what I was talking about. We were talking about, like, she was asking me how my relationship was going. I was like, things are good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, so how are things going? And I'm always afraid to ask people's relationship, because you don't know what 7 paragraph story they're going to give you. And I'm like, there's a lot of street lights, the traffic lights, to get home. And I really don't want to hear about this stuff. But I ended up asking anyway. And for some reason, the conversation got to, yeah, and I try to get pedicures more often now because he's into that, into feet. And I'm just like, nice. And again, you have to have a straight face. And I realizing as you get older and you kind of get more socially calibrated with women and understand what they are, you'll be surprised how comfortable women get around you, right? It's crazy. Like, I have a female friend who I just asked, "Hey, how are things going with so and so?" And she mentioned that, "Hey, I like to do foot stuff with him." And I'm like, "Well, thank you. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it." Right? You're in the secret society now, man. You got to hear about women's fucked up shit all the time. I've heard women sit down with me and defend why she likes to eat male assholes. And I'm like, "Hey, you don't got to defend it. Like, hey, you like what you like. You don't understand. Everyone says it's gonna taste bad, but really it just tastes like skin." Like, just explaining to it. I'm like, and I did the meme with the anime character from, like, the No 11 anime where he puts his hand on the guy's shoulder. I did that to her and be like, "It's fine. It's fine." Yeah, like, for you young guys, right? One of the reasons a lot of younger men, they worship these OnlyFans girls and they sign up and all that stuff, right? It's because they believe that there's, like, the Madonnas and the whores. And realizing, guys, that once you become attractive and you sleep with lots of women, you free them and you let them be able to be both in the same woman. They trust you more. And you'll realize that that porn stuff that everyone's so obsessed about and says it's the end of the world, it's actually not pretty tame. Ask Bull Rush. Is there extreme porn? Yeah. But a lot of porn is just 3 positions. And the woman follows a script, says something crazy, um, and yeah, that's it. In real life, um, It's more fun, guys. It's just you're not there yet. You're still, you've been trained that morality has a say with sex and biology. And maybe it does because you don't, anything's on the table except going to jail. Don't do anything illegal. But you'll realize that you're going to see naked women and it's gonna become so fake and lame these videos because in real life women are just as freaky or more, but you have to unlock that. You may be much more sexually experienced with women to the point where you have to teach them how to have sex or like teach them about their own bodies, like, hey, this is how you touch yourself, this is how this is that. But for the most part, women come preloaded with fantasies, with disgusting things, right? The 50 Shades of Grey sold how many copies, guys? Like 56 million or something like that. One of the highest selling books of all time, of the decade, I think. Women are trying to tell us something. They're begging us to just get it so they can just be themselves. They know that they have to act good in public and be nice little girls, but behind closed doors, they don't want to do that. They just want to be themselves. And if you free them, they will reward you so much. And you'll realize that the more you do that, your sex life becomes better. A lot of guys think in order for me to have a threesome, or in order for me to have a girl that's just good at giving blowjobs, or a girl that just likes to fuck in public, like on a beach or in your car, it's not that you have to go hire a hooker or find a village slut or something to do that with. It's just that take a girl that's cute that does it for you sexually, um, and get her to be herself, get her to open up, and you'll realize like, hey, I don't have to rely on adult films to live these fantasies. Obviously, there's some things you just can't do, and sure, but I can do this in real life. Tell me what's sexier. You're going on a date with a girl and things are going well, and she like grabs your junk through the date while you're just talking to her like normal. I Isn't that hot? Just think about it, guys. You're just talking about your puppy or talking about I don't know, a sad story. You're talking about how you're a Pisces or you're a Capricorn, right? She's just like smiling, and then she bites her lip a little bit and then just grabs your dick, and then you smile and you're just like, and you continue, and then she giggles a little bit, and then you go back to the conversation. That's 1,000 times hotter than any adult spicy movie in existence because it's real and it happens because you're awesome. There's no script. It's real. The girl's in front of you and you're conquering this girl and you feel good about yourself. And on the ride home, she may flash you in the Uber or she may whatever in the elevator you kiss, and there's like this buildup. And for women, guys, the foreplay starts the minute you meet her, not through text. The minute she shows up and you say hello to her, you shake her hand and you hug her, that's when the foreplay starts. It starts building from there. And that's what I'm saying, guys. Dating is not for, it is not an interview. It is not for planning the future with her. It's to have fun, to free her from the banality. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Banality of her daily life where her boss, her brothers, her sisters, her friends, her mother, if she has kids, even her kids, whatever, her friends all expect her to be perfect and you can bail her out for at least 4 hours. And women will thank you 10 times over for that. So, yeah, the price of being in is learning about stuff you didn't ask. And then you realize, like, hey, this girl is a normal chick that works in an HR office. But, you know, she said, hey, I like girls too. Okay, great. Or, hey, there's this chick that I work as I don't know, I work as a vet tech and I have a normal life, right? But I'm a white blonde girl that likes chocolate men. I like black men. Like my parents can't know and I don't date them like that, but it's just what I like. And you're like, "Okay, cool." Right? And you'll realize that sometimes women match with you or want to see you because you are their fetish. Just roll with it. Roll with it. Stop the Madonna whore complex. Throw that shit out. So, yeah. Oh, all right. Let's take a quick break, guys, and we'll get to this slide. We'll be right back. Oh, and if you guys want a super chat, I got new cutaways that you might like. So, where is it? Let's take a break. Alrighty. So next slide, guys. The slide is the most scared soul or lesson 4, the social media facade. The most scared soldier beats his shield the loudest. Um, Dating multiple women topples the belief that they are who they say they are online. Often the reality is the exact opposite of the avatar. So another effect, and this is also good for women, and this is why they like guys that are womanizers, is because women put on a facade on social media, whether it be through filters and makeup and premises that aren't true, or now we have AI. They try to curate and be this perfect version of themselves, and it's exhausting to them, right? Because this is all they have is their social media presence. Guys that get it, guys that get laid, guys that understand women, whatever, they see this and we're just like, yeah, we get it. Like and there's a reason why I say, like all women are catfish. The question is to what degree. It's just understanding that women have a lot of stake in how they look online. So they're going to be incentivized to lie about their appearance via filters, via AI, face tuning, slimming up, using clothes that make them look good, right? And another thing that kind of like frustrates me is you'll see a woman that's overweight or slightly overweight or whatever, and she's wearing leggings and visual like shapewear or anything like that, and guys are just drooling over her like, ah, she's so fine, like I love me a thick woman, blah blah blah. And I'm like, guys, with enough experience, right? Hey, if that's what you like, that's what you like. I get it. With enough experience, you're gonna realize that when that woman comes home, she's not gonna look the same. She's wearing a lot of shapewear. She's not gonna be the same. And the reason it's so important for you guys to understand that is that when you don't understand that women are catfishes online, always, you're wasting her time and yours. Because let's say you ask her on a date, you make her drive 30 minutes and get ready for 1 hour, and you get ready, and you go to this place, and she is not who she says she is. She does not look similar to her profile, or looks one or two things below. And here you are, you're not attracted to her. And what do? You can make it awkward and just walk out. You can just stick it to for 20 minutes, or you whatever you got to do, right? But this is why I say understand that reality of dating and that women are incentivized to lie about their appearance. If you don't believe me, a lot of the women that I've rubbed shoulders with on Twitter ended up being these super catfishes and got exposed by other guys. And yeah, it was sad. And it was like pity. I wasn't mad. I was like pity. I'm like, wow, poor you. Like, I know I look better in person than on social media. And for you, it's the opposite. That's gotta suck, right? It's like chasing the dragon. For me, for men, it's like reverse chasing the dragon. Um, for men, we're just like we'll see a picture of us online that we look ugly, and we're like, man, I'm an ugly motherfucker. I'm ugly as hell. And then we'll go out, and then we'll get called handsome, or a girl will we'll catch a girl staring or something. We'll be like, wait a minute, am I ugly? I don't even know. Maybe I'm handsome. Who knows? Like, isn't that awesome? The fact that we don't everything we are, we don't boil ourselves down to how we look. And if we feel ugly, we'll just accept it. Like, yeah, I'm ugly as hell. Cool. And then a girl will be like, "You're handsome," and you'll be like, "Sure, thank you." I think that's a good thing. Being boof being booffish is nasty work. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, men always look better in person. Yep. Men always look better in person. So, all right, moving on. All right, true kindness versus the nice guy. The nice guy. And for what it's worth, I saw a video earlier today that I retweeted, and I quote tweeted with your job as a guy with options and attractive is to protect women from nice guys. So this is along those lines. The nice guy, he's transactional and strategic. He judges women by sexual convenience, chaste or submissive, and niceness is a covert contract. So when I say transactional and strategic, I think strategic is like you could change that for opportunistic for the purposes of this slide. He just waits till the girl is drunk or girl's broke up with her boyfriend, or he just waits for her when she's vulnerable, whether emotionally or physically, like through alcohol or drugs. He just waits. Um, he judges women by sexual convenience, and this is like the majority of these manosphere dorks. It's just like, oh, women have to submit, and women should not vote, or blah blah. All they're saying is, I wish the game was easier because I can't get late. I can't figure this shit out. For me to win, I gotta nerf women. Right? Imagine you playing Call of Duty or Apex Legends or Battlefield or Helldivers or whatever, and you're playing with your friends, and your friends are like, "Man, I wish the game was easier. This is lame. I wish they would nerf this or nerf this enemy or nerf this weapon. This isn't fair." You'd be like, "Man, shut the hell up, bro, and play the game." Exactly. That's how I feel. Shut the hell up and play the game. And then niceness is a covert contract. This again, this is simple stuff. Men believe, blue pill men believe that if they do nice things for women, they get sex. Again, do women have agency, or are they just a machine that you input nice things and you get out sex and intimacy? No. The neutral man, what we are, us in the audience and me, we're understanding and accepting. And now understanding has a negative connotation. It isn't understanding like, oh, you cheated on me. That's okay. No, understanding like, oh, she cheated on me. There's nothing I can do here. I got to get out of here. Or understanding like, yeah, she flaked because, women have the attention span of a goldfish. They have so many options and things to do. Like court, like the fact that she even um decided to match me is pretty insane, but whatever. Right? That's the difference. And accepting is it is what it is. There is no only if only things were like this, if only we passed this law, if only men here's a common one. If only men stop simping, things will be better. I'm like, men will never stop simping forever. There is not going to be some law or something that's going to wake up in men's brains for them to stop simping. They'll simp tomorrow. They'll simp in 1,000 years. We'll be on the way to our third solar system to colonize it, and men will still simp. It's there. It's there forever. There's nothing you can do about that. So just accept the game and stop blaming other men for why you're not happy. Acknowledges emotional limitations and dating pressures. Yeah. Here's another thing. You acknowledge women's emotional limitations and you acknowledge your own. And this is the hard part, guys, because maybe you start figuring this shit out. Maybe you start doing well with women. But there's going to be times and days and women that just test you. You may find a girl that sexually like is what you wanted. Like the sex is so good. Hopefully she's not BPD, right? But the sex is good and she's exactly what you want, what you envisioned in a girl, right? And you're going to act a little lame around her, right? That's an emotional limitation, dude. You were caught off guard. This girl stepped into your life out of nowhere, and maybe you were in an emotional vulnerable state. Maybe, a parent just died, or I don't know, something bad happened in your life. You moved to a new city and felt lonely. And this girl just walked in and just, you know, fucked the shit out of you. Was cooked you dinner or brought you coffee in bed, kissed you on the cheek, sent you cute memes, and you're just like, what the hell is happening? And you're like, whoa, what the hell? And then you mess it up, right? You get a little bit too involved with her, and she loses attraction. That's okay. You didn't do the right thing, but forgive yourself. You're allowed to be like, man, I fucked that up, right? You're allowed to take accountability, but you're also allowed to admit to your mistakes. So just admit, hey, I fucked it up. Also, you understand her dating pressures. Hey, they're not like us. They're not like us. Women just don't be giving out sex to any man. It's just that she's just trying to figure out, are you worth the risk of hooking up with? And the thing is, uh, often, um, you will not be. So that's her dating pressure. She has her reputation to maintain, which is tied to her survival in her head. And you have your dating pressures. You're a horny dude. So if you haven't had sex in 2 months and you go on a date and you screw it up or you get close or whatever, that's a dating pressure. It's hard to have abundance mentality when you don't have abundance. So you're going to come off as a little bit needy, even if you swear you didn't come off like that. It's hard to tell from the inside. So forgive yourself. You're like, hey, it's been a while for me, so I was kind of a hungry dog, and I kind of chased her away a little bit. It happens, and there you go. That neutrality. That is what's going to give you the edge when you understand these things and forgive yourself and kind of accept women for what they are. You kind of like realize, like, hey, back at it. I'll get it eventually. I have never gone this long, and I need to relax, right? Judges women by character, likable and considerate. And here's the hard part about men get so involved and so riled up and so focused on body count that they forget, dude, is she fun to be around? Is she likable and considerate, right? Does she see you're tired and say, "Hey, I'm going to leave you alone because you look tired," or, "Hey, do you, if you're hanging out with her." I've had women that like we've been hanging out and I pass out on the couch or something, and I wake up tucked in, all the lights off, and with a text saying, "Hey, you look tired, so I left you alone. Thank you for everything." That is a likable, considerate person, right? That is someone that is pretty chill. And if they have a fucking tattoo on their forearm, great. I don't care. The actions over anything else. Now, can this behavior last forever? Maybe. Does it often not? No, it does not often last. Good behavior doesn't last for long. Women change their mind, women go on to something else or whatever. But for the most part, judge women by their character and you'll get farther with women. And that's for every level of relationship. Even if it's just a girl you see on once a week, once every 10 days. When she comes over, is she hammered drunk and her breath smells to the point where you could barely kiss her? She is not likable or considerate, right? Are you okay with that though? Up to you. Like for me personally, I don't want to kiss a girl whose mouth smells like alcohol and cigarettes. Not my thing. But um also realize that women are kind of more considerate than you think they are sometimes, right? The internet stuff will have you think that women are these hyper selfish pieces of shit people that are out to get you. But think about it like this. You're on a date with her. That woman probably shaved her legs and her hoo-ha that day. Uh, she probably did her hair. She probably was going through your profile um, to see what you were like. That woman uh, did all these things for you, probably moved stuff in her schedule, moved it around just so she can see you and meet you and all that stuff. So yeah, those are things that are considered. She's already giving a shit. So let's cut women that are on a date with you and having sex with you some slack because you may not see her driving over 30 minutes to come see you and have sex with you as a big deal, right? I'm not saying you should like you should worship the fact that she does one nice thing, right? But at the same time, understand, yeah, like just like a friend of yours doing it, you should be like, hey, this girl's into me. This girl likes me because she's doing these nice things. She's not out to get me. She understands what it is to be a good person. She texts me when she's gonna be late. Like she's a decent human being, right? And because of that, I will continue to see her if she's down. So yeah. All right. All right, neutrality allows for genuine kindness because the hidden agenda is gone. Yeah, you're neutral. Like, hey, if you left tomorrow, it'd be cool. And if you left for a year and came back, I wouldn't even mention that you left. I'd be like, oh, okay, welcome back. And you realize that you'll get more women in your rotation that way than you ever thought possible, because sex is already hard to get. Um, so why are you kicking women out of your life, or why do you have all these moral standards? Just treat her like treat her like a human being, right? And filter for likability and being considerate, being a decent person, being pleasant. And when they're done, don't do anything. Just don't. Sometimes you don't even have to say anything. She just stops texting you, and then 4 months later, you'll match on a dating app, or you'll see her out and about, and then she's right back into being one of your plates. You replated her, and it's like nothing happened. And that can't happen if you're judgmental. If you're angry at women, they're gonna feel that shit, and they're not want to come back in your life. So for I don't know about you guys, like easy sex is easy sex, and I don't want to scare women away forever. I'd rather keep the door open, right? All right, the Professor X metaphor. I would rather read the mind of the enemy and understand his pain than be the army that fights him. The cost of this knowledge is memory. You are doomed to remember these women for longer than you were with them, but you gain a library of truth. Okay, so what I mean by this is, right, you guys can fight against women, try to convince them that they're wrong. You can debate them. You can watch debate content. You can try to hold them accountable in your life and on the internet. You can do all these things, or you could just understand them. You can just be like, yeah, women are women. And there's nothing I can do to change it. And I just got to work with them. They'll work with me and work with them and move on. Right. And that is the beauty of being a womanizer, is that you get to this point. Right. Does Troy Francis look like he's stressed or angry about women at all? Troy Francis is chilling. Do I sound like I stress about women? No, I don't care. Great. Do they stress me out sometimes? Yeah, but not to the point where I'm just like, they're ruining my life. Just, I think they're like a minor inconvenience in my day or in my life. And it's a welcome minor inconvenience. Obviously, there are going to be times and there's situations where they're not, where they're actually absolutely trying to hurt you. And, it happens. And those are the times you got to lock in, whether it be a divorce or whether it be whatever entanglement you got with a woman. You have to lock in those times. But for 99% of the other time, just being neutral, accepting what women are, having that predictive power. You learn the red pill not to hold women accountable, but to have a little bit of predictive power to know, hey, when she does this, it actually means this. And that's it. It isn't when she does this, I got to teach her that she's doing something wrong. No, no. Unless she is in love with you or genuinely is like, hey, what am I doing wrong? Blah, blah, blah. Then you could say, well, this. And even then, you don't even know if she'll take it well. A lot of times women ask me, what am I doing wrong? Or is there something I could do better as a girlfriend, as a plate, as a girl, whatever? And I tell them, and even if, they try to muscle through, but I could just see in their eyes, they cannot handle male criticism. So all you have is removing your time and attention. And that's when they realize, oh, if they care, right? Oh, this thing that I'm doing, he does not like it because he's walking away from me. So the cost of this knowledge is memory. You are doomed to remember these women for longer than you were with them, but you gain a library of truth. Right. So again, I was alluding to the fact that long-term casual relationships with women often teach you the most because there's no pressure. She doesn't feel like she's going to let you down. She's trying to be with you, so she doesn't feel any pressure. So she can be herself. Um, but here's the thing: often there's a lot of gray area in casual relationships where um, you're playing this dangerous game where you're doing things that create memories, that create connection, that build trust, and these memories get burned in your brain. And not because they're great women or anything. It's just they teach you lessons, and these lessons go forever. And sometimes, for what it's worth, I would rather men learn these lessons in casual relationships with women than through a divorce or through being cheated on and all that stuff, right? I was lucky. I learned the toughest lessons about women just through casual relationships. It felt like I had a protective suit on where I was behind the class instead of with the wild animal, right? In the lab with all the scientists, I felt like I was behind the glass safely learning about women, and that was by choice. So part of the cost of that is that you might remember these women for a long time, but not in the and not in the yearning way, but in the yeah, I remember I learned this lesson and this chick taught me this lesson, and I'm glad she taught it to me. So you get it, library truth, but all right, the library of observation. The window into reality can be overwhelming, but it's necessary. Neutrality is the only useful lens for the sexual marketplace. Let me say that again. Neutrality is the only useful lens for the sexual marketplace. Enter the arena, observe, and be neutral. When you see guys mad at women, when you see guys trying to change the universe or change the laws of physics with women, they have not dated enough. They are still afraid of women's power. They're still not neutral and they're angry. And is that the life you want, really? Do you want to wake up and be like, these hoes did it again? No, you want to wake up and be like, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. So yeah. Let me add myself here. Where am I? So yeah, guys, that's basically the slides. I know you guys want these slides. I try to upload them on Discord, but Discord said it was too big, so I don't know where I'm gonna upload them and stuff. But yeah, it's just maybe this has been explained in different ways by different red pill content creators, right? But the way I see it, guys, in my experience, is that there was a certain fear I had when I was dating women. I was becoming neutral and just stopped caring and developing my frame and mental point of origin and all that stuff. Was that I felt, oh, I don't care anymore about love and relationships, or I don't care about like women are so unimportant to me. Like, how will I ever bond enough with a woman if I want to ever have a family? Not that I was planning to have a family, but I was like, what if I can't bond with women? And I'm here to tell you that's bullshit. You will always be able to bond with women. Always. There's people that have had 3 times your body count and still fall hopelessly in love with a good gal. That is a myth that lonely people on the internet say, don't believe it. Uh, Neutrality, here's the problem a lot of guys have when they start going back to center, they feel a void. Their whole lives, they've either been blue pill where they've had to support and make women happy all the time. Um, and then you get your red pill rage, you wake up and you have your red pill rage face, and then you still pedestalize them, but like you still make them your point of origin. You're still angry at them, you still blame them for stuff. They're still a huge problem in your life and all that. Um, but here's the thing. Once you start going back to center, once you start, okay, I'm dating girls, and the last 3 girls I dated have been fine, and it I'm having a good time, and it's just not a big deal. Like women are being nice to me, like I'm not scared of them anymore, whatever. You realize like, oh shit, there's a void here. There's a void in myself, in my brain, in my heart that, and I feel empty. I feel like something's wrong. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong. It's just that you've always filled that void with pedestalization, whether it be hating or loving women. You've always felt like something had to be in there occupying that part. And that void is good. It means it's progress. You start to feel like, why don't women make me mad anymore? Why is it that I log on to the internet and women are just like, ain't men shit? Blah, blah, and you just like giggle and like, all right, sweetheart, whatever you say. You'll find that that void is supposed to be replaced with other things, like playing piano, like maybe a walk with your girlfriend or something. Maybe like living your life. That's what that void is there for, to fill it with other things besides I dislike women because I can't control them, or women have to be protected at all costs. Both of those things suck because they're replacing your life's mission and your goals and your vision, your clarity. You can't be there forever. And the time you spent mad at women is time you don't get back. And here's the sad part. Maybe you are mad at women or have been. And even in your red pill rage phase, angry and cursing women for all the things they've done to you or whatever, there was probably girls that thought, hey, that guy's kind of cute. And since you were in your own world and angry, you probably never saw that even with how hurt you were, women were still trying to sleep with you and be submissive to you. And another thing about neutrality is that once you start seeing women as more human and flawed creatures and like not out to get you and all that stuff, um, you almost feel like women start opening up. Like I said before, women start opening up to you so much that you're just like, sometimes I miss the days where I wasn't like this, because now women all think I'm their friend and are opening up. They want to introduce me to their friends. They trust me. They want to hang out with me all the time as friends, or just want me around because you're a rare dude. You're just like, listen, thanks for telling me that, yeah, like, you do foot stuff with your boyfriend or with the guy you're seeing, right? That's great. But damn it. I did not need to know that, but you told me anyway because for some reason you trust me more than any other guy that you know besides the man you're seeing. I'm like, great, and I appreciate that, but again, it's just the price you pay. You become something that's very rare to women, which is a guy with options that's not trying to fuck them all the time. Like, wow, this guy is handsome, he's attractive, he tries to, I see him, he's good with other women, but he's so nice to me. He's a sweetheart, right? He gives me hugs, he doesn't try to hit on me. He asks me how I'm doing and who I'm seeing. Like, he genuinely is honest. And this is what I'm saying. That's what womanizing does. Women like you more at every single level, every level. Um, I have a story. Like, my father, in his days before he met my mom, was kind of a womanizer himself, right? I know this because the way he talked to me as a kid, he was very grounded in how women's behavior was. He didn't have any blue pill fantasies. He comes from a third world country, and he kind of knew the game. So, um, my mom was a very goody two shoes type of gal and all that stuff, and she still is, bless her heart. Uh, but one thing I noticed as a kid is that whenever my parents visited Dominican Republic, my mom's sisters loved my dad. They wanted to hang out with him and party, right? He was basically like the older brother, right? And he would make fun of the women. He would just say, "Hey, well, who's that dusty dude you've been dating? Like, don't you want to hang out with me and my wife, their sister?" Um, and it was just a weird phenomenon. Like, my dad is corralling this woman to go party with him and my mom, and they love him more than they love my mom sometimes. Like, they just love hanging out with him, and he's just so honest with them, like, "You guys gotta stop being hoes," like, just straight up to their face. And I was just like, "What the hell?" And again, it's that when you understand women and you don't judge them and you just, act like their friend and don't try to, like, brown nose them or compliment them or whatever, just be normal. Women kinda are very attracted to that, right? And they don't know why. They're like, "Why is this guy so cool and chill?" Right? Um There's not a lot of guys like that because every guy's trying to fuck them. Every guy's lying to them. Every guy's trying to trick them into something or put them in a position where they're vulnerable. Let's do shots together. Or, hey, do you need a ride home? Or this and that. Right? And imagine you sitting down with some chicks, and you just start talking about like, I'm having a bad day. I got stood up on a date. What about you guys? And you just come with this different type of energy, right? Maybe a little bit abstract, but like some of you guys get it. Like, women just trust you more when you're good with women. When you understand, when you stop making every opportunity with women an opportunity for sex, and you let the world happen. So, yeah. Professor New Canning as he used like candy. Pretty decent like ratio, gents. If you haven't already, hit the like button to show Nuke some love. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. So, yeah. All right. Let's have a new segment for the stream, and I won't take up too long as I've already been talking for an hour and a half. Jesus Christ. But I wanted to go on my timeline and read some tweets. And they may or may not be relevant. If you guys would like to super chat, I got new super chat cutaways, like uh like this one.
Are you trying to have sex with me?
That's one of my favorite videos on the internet, by the way. It's so well cut because that smirk at the end is I don't know, it's one of my favorite videos on the internet. I had to put it in, like, maybe I'll do a better, like, more edited version, but I just love that Alex Jones clip. It's the funniest thing. So, but anyways, hold on one second. Let me make sure. Okay, everything's clear on the screen. I don't want to pull Jeremy from the quartering or whatever his name is, and pull up my forced screen pie stuff. Jesus Christ, man. What are they doing? All right. Okay. Oh, let's get a super chat first. So you get one of all right, you get one of these, sir. We'll give you an Alex
Are you
Jones.
trying to have sex with me?
Louis Dev for the $4.99. Good work tonight, Nuke. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's go. Let's time to check X. All right, so I'll bring up X. I'll turn off the volume here. All right, so here at the bottom, here's my X page. Let's see what's happening. Yes, I was watching Dragon Ball Daima earlier today. I made myself some salmon and some reduction. It was pretty good. I haven't checked why Dominicans are trending, but yeah. All right. I'm on my page and not the timeline, guys, because the timeline is crazy and I'm not trying to get demonetized. So let's see. Sometimes you have to let the the haircut marinate for 3 or 4 days to see your barber's vision. Yeah, guys, never get a haircut the day of the function or the day of the event, right? Whether it be a wedding or a date. Try to get your haircut 1 or 2 days before and let the haircut let it marinate, let it be ready. Because if not, you know, you look the best 2 or 3 days after your haircut. So at least for guys that look like me. So all right. There's me in a cloud cosplay. Oh, this is important, right? And this is one of those very nuanced dating observations that I've had. And obviously, guys, I don't like talking too much about nuance because you guys, your eyes will get glazed over. I get very technical with this stuff, and if you would like me to get more technical, you can ask me a question, or you can get into my DMs, or whatever. But one thing I've noticed, like, I had a stint where I dated Asian women. It was just a preference. I liked it, and then I realized, like, hey, because of, like, the reels I was seeing in popular culture and the things that women I dated were reporting and all that stuff, I realized, like, hey, Asian women are very fetishized, and they don't like it. And I'm telling you, a lot of guys think that they do like it, even if you're a good looking guy or attractive. It's don't risk. Do not risk. Let me blow this up. This is a little small. There you go. One more time. There you go. Do not risk chasing a girl away because you wanted to feel like you wanted to be direct or you wanted to be cool, right? And this is what I say: like, you have this woman, who posted. Obviously, women like posting evidence that men like them or are thirsting over them. It's nothing new about that, right? But he wrote this message that was a little bit like he probably wasn't expecting a response. It's just right, and it's kind of funny. But on a serious note, and me, I like to take things a little bit too seriously. It is my trademark. But I say, hey, Asian women's biggest fear is in dating is being fetishized, right? They'll often ask on a first date, "What do you like about me?" And guys, every single date I've been on with an Asian woman in my past, they've asked that question. Every single one. What did you like about me? And the thing is, to me, it felt like, hey, they're trying to see how I respond to find out whether I fetishize them or not. Asian women know they're fetishized. They know, right? In popular culture, movies, dating apps, they're the most responded to women on dating apps, whatever. They know that guys may not necessarily like them for them, but because the fact they are from a far off continent in the world, whatever. Cool. So they ask you this question to test, hey, do you fetishize me, essentially? And your answer, you should always focus on a trait of hers that other women have that transcends or is generalized across race. So you say, no, I just like brunettes or something, right? And just deliver that with as much seriousness as you can, but not seriousness, but as much confidence as you can. Um, because she's trying to see if you're one of those guys that is weird and likes Asian women. Now, you could just say, "Hey, I just like Asian women," and risk it, but, hey, we're not here to play games or to gamble, right? Just go with the safe option here, and later on, what happens is once you have sex, she builds trust and she actually likes you, and you spend a little bit of time together, she's gonna be the one mentioning the fact that she likes you, and she kinda is into guys like you, right? And then sh I'm not gonna get into the bedroom stuff, but, women when you're dating interracially, a lot of, like, the fact your different races come into play in the bedroom, and the things are said that women like to say and all that stuff, and I've been like, people have told me women have yelled my race with a lot of positive things about me in the bedroom because race does have a say, right? Just don't make it weird at first, right? Just Asian women are very fetishized. Try to divert or not focus on you like her, and if you do, right, and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, just realize that the first date before having sex is not the time to talk about that, right? Have sex first, um, and all that stuff. All right, moving on. Some comments. All right. Deep down, women don't really want to work. Yeah, maybe women don't want to work. Maybe they do. I've seen a lot of women that are happy to work and happy to just help people out. There's a lot of women that really enjoy their jobs. Really, they do. They actually do. A lot of jobs are rewarding, believe it or not. However, um, even for women that don't enjoy working, they still work. They have the option to find a guy. A lot of guys are you'd be surprised how many men, right, are fine with them staying at home. Obviously, the economy has a say and makes it hard, but women just don't wanna get with average men. They don't want to be forced or feel like they have to get with an average man. So that's why they work. It's to emancipate them from men. So, yeah, stay-at-home mom stuff and oh, yeah, a girl is handed a little what do you guys think that is? It is a a piglet. I mean, I don't blame her, it's a really cute little animal, probably delicious. It's gonna grow up to be a very delicious pork chops or bacon, but look at her, she can't this is the gender we take seriously, this is the gender that we believe is destroying our lives and is scheming and is we have to have a gender war against. I'm like, "Dude, look at them, they're a mess." Her dad probably brought her a little pig, and she's done. So and this was the video I was saying, this is basically, kinda goes hand in hand with today's show where, you know, women do this thing or people make content about the good guy, and they always try to frame the good guy as a victim of the alpha and the women, right? Like, um see, the girl goes up and says, "Hey, you're such a good guy, blah blah blah," and he gets his validation because that's what all good guys want. They just want validation, and then the hot guy or the bad boy or whatever takes both of the girls. Women like to share. Women are willing to share a guy like that, but they make it seem like being a good guy is some sad story. I'm like, no, the villain in this story in this little Instagram skit is the nice guy. The alpha guy is honest. He's commanding. He knows what he wants. He's just like, "Hey, you come over here," right? And he's selfish and he doesn't apologize for what he wants. He's like, "Hey, I'm good with this girl, but I want another one." And he just says, "Hey, you too." Yeah. It's silly, guys, but like really once you and, and I'll end the show with this. Listen, you will always see until you see the alpha here as the hero, as the good man, as the guy that's the decent person here, you have work to do internally. I see the nice guy here as a piece of as a bad person, as like a person I don't want to hang out with, a guy that I don't want to hire, a guy that I don't want to depend on, a guy that I want to be friends with, a guy that I don't want around when I'm, if I was single going out to meet women. You don't want to be around that guy. That guy is more interested in getting validation from women. He thinks that if he's nice, women will give him things, and he will sabotage you at every turn he can. And he will always be mad that you get what you want and he doesn't with his own moral framework. He will never understand that thinking that morality is what gets him women um, is the flawed way of, and he'll blame you for it. And that's why they say, "Oh, you guys are licking all the ice cream." Well, you suck because you think that your morality entitles you to women, right? So yeah, until you see the nice guy as the villain here, you have work to do. You have a lot of internal work, and you better get on that. So yeah. Let me see. Nothing interesting. Hey, I'm back on the leaderboards on Substack. So I got another one or two. I got two more stories, and I think I'm done. So, but yeah. And then Bull Rush here. I quote. What did I tweet? I've been in relationships with so. Oh yeah, this is the whole Christian women are actually. And then, I really wanted to talk about this. The picture on the left has seen more action from hot women than the picture on the right. And this is something that, like, me and Forward Playboy talked about, where the picture on the left is just a mattress on the floor, right? It's just, no decorations, a small room looks like, and it's messy, and he just threw the sheets on there, and it's like, whatever, right? Whereas this room right here is very well decorated. It looks like a couple lives here. And look at all those throw pillows. And the throw pillows are symbolic, right? Throw pillows take up space on the bed. They're more for people to look like, wow, look how nice this is. Now contrast that with a mattress on the floor, which is like, yeah, I threw my pillow on there and walked away, whatever. Right. So for if you don't understand this or you don't believe this, again, you have work to do. When all you have the mattress on the floor indicates that you're in a place in your life where you don't have a lot of money or don't have a lot of people in your life, right? There's no one coming over to have dinner, do dinner parties with you. There's no one. You probably don't have your kids running around. Maybe you're recently divorced. Maybe you don't have the money for a house, or you just lost your house. Whatever it is, it is like zeroed out, an indicator of being zeroed out, right? So you got nothing left. So what's the only thing you have left after you get everything taken away from you? Maybe your social standing, your job, or whatever? Game, right? You become the game. You have to, because if you don't become the game, you don't get laid. You don't get anything. So all these constraints and morality and all these things kind of go away. And you're like, well, I have the only thing I have left to present to women is me. Not my money, my lifestyle, nothing. All I have is me. And that's why I say the picture on the left has seen more action than the picture on the right from hot women. The picture on the right is like, well, if you're a guy and you have this many throw pillows, then probably something's wrong with you, right? Maybe you're kind of fruity, but hey, I don't judge. Um, but this kind of looks like a woman set this place up, right? The decorations with flowers on the nightstand, and there's more extravagant uh, bedrooms that are dead than there are mattresses on the floor that are dead, right? We've all been here, guys. We've all been in the mattress on the floor. We've all had this. We've all been at a point of our lives where we had nothing. We're starting out from scratch, or we just left home, or we just got divorced, or we lost a job, or we had to move, or whatever, and you had nothing. And you were free. You had nothing to prove to anyone. You were basically accepting, hey, I got nothing. So you live more for yourself, and all you have is gain, nothing else. And then on the right, it's like you have the kids, or you have a wife or a girlfriend, or you're trying to impress women by your lifestyle. Look at it. Look. I have all. Look at my land. Look at my neighborhood. I look at my throw pillows. Aren't I cool and refined, ladies? I swear, right? Here it's like, yeah, I got nothing left. You know? Did females invent headboards? Possibly. Yeah, more than two pillows, definitely. I have three, but it's because I like putting one in between my legs. It helps me sleep better. Or when I have a girlfriend too, so she needs a pillow. So yeah. But anyways, guys, is there any questions? You guys have any questions or anything? Oh, this was Rule Zero. Rule Zero was fun, guys. You should go watch it. Let me see what else. That's me at work the other day. I was working on a UPS. For you guys that don't know what a UPS is, it's an uninterruptible power supply. Essentially, whenever the power goes out for like a limited, like for a while, like a couple seconds, like a brownout, there's certain things that have to be absolutely powered at all times, like a server or an MRI table or operating table where people are operating on kids or people or whatever. So you need something that switches over to battery power while so the power when it comes back, it doesn't interrupt anything. So this stuff is supposed to switch over to battery power in like tenths of a second, in milliseconds. So your load or whatever's being powered off um, in the room next door that's powered downstream of this, it won't interrupt the load, and you won't lose servers. If servers go down, it causes damage to the servers, and that's why sometimes you can't log on to PlayStation Network, or you can't do a transaction at like Bass Pro, or um, I don't know, the lights flicker, right? It's because for like 3 seconds the power went out, and there's just some things that cannot lose power even for a second. And this is what a UPS is, right? Yeah, it's complicated, but if you break it apart, guys, like here's one, two, three sections, right? AC has three phases, A, B, C, left to right. And here, and these things right here in the middle is just an assembly of capacitors and fuses and SCRs, just electrical terms for things that turn AC three phase AC into DC. DC is like the type of power you get from like batteries. And before you can use batteries to power a load such as your car, for instance, or servers or anything, you got to change it back to AC. So in order to do that, you got to change the waveform, and then you could do that with all these little assemblies here, right? So it looks complicated, guys, but I swear, if you break it into pieces and parts, it makes sense, right? Here's just breakers. Obviously, the input breakers open because I didn't want to get shocked when I was working in there. But just like your dating life, guys, um, it may seem complicated and overwhelming. Your dating life and women will look like this shit right here, like all these wires, and I don't know what does this do, what does this do, what does this do. But here's the thing, right? First off, only focus on what's important in the moment, right? When you want to go date girls, stop focusing on what the definition of hypergamy is. Focus on what is a good place to take a woman, right? Stop trying to understand the red pill, all of it, all the time, 24/7. It'll come to you eventually. You may not know what frame is right now, right? You may not know what frame. You may like, I don't get frame. Frame is who I am. It's everything. Whatever. The tetrahedron of frame. I don't get it. But then in a year after fucking some hoes, you might be like, oh, now I get it. Now it makes sense, right? And that's same thing with here. Hey, let's say I gotta fix this one thing here on the left. These capacitors. I gotta replace them. Um, am I gonna have to like, hey, what's behind here? I gotta learn about all this stuff behind here. No, focus on fixing this, putting it exactly the way it was, closing the doors, and shutting the breaker. And then when this breaks, or when you have a moment, you learn about the rest of the unit, but you take it in pieces and parts. Same thing with your dating life. Focus on where you suck, focus on what you want to fix or what you're struggling with, and then little by little, you fix yourself. You find out, oh, okay, turns out on a first date, I can't talk about crypto, so that's never going to happen again. Or hey, turns out that I've had a pregnancy scare, so from now on, I'm gonna use condoms because I had a pregnancy scare with a woman I barely know, and that sucks. So there you go. You fix your dating lives and your habits, and you take it a piece at a time. And then one day you will present your dating experiences, and they will look like this to the next generation of men. And you'll be like, no, 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 it's actually easy. Let's start with this guy here, and we'll build there as you go through and experience life. So that was probably not the greatest parallel or analogy, but I did my best. So, yeah, just rule 0. I think yeah, we already talked about you guys wanna, look at rule 0, we talked about, like, trichonism and how it's never gonna come back or whatever, blah, blah, cool, so, alright, I think that's enough of that. You guys have any questions or anything, um, that you guys wanna ask? So, did you know dwarf pigs don't exist? It was an internet hype, and a woman bought into it, and then we're stuck with the, "Oh my god, are you serious?" That's the fun that's hilarious. That's so funny. They thought pigs were like "Oh, it's a mini pig," and then it just can you imagine it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and then eventually, like, you got this, like, 200 how big do they get? I know they get pretty big, like a 200-pound pig in your house, and they're crying like, "Why can't you stop growing? Why can't you stay cute?" Oh, yeah, I did have a good frame. Yeah, it was a frame is always a difficult show to do. It's because it's like something everyone has their own little definition of it. Everyone wants to, like, make the definition theirs and say, "Well, I won an argument with my girl, or I told my girl off, and, and I kicked this bitch to the curb, I have frame." I'm like, "Ah, that's not dude, it's not what it is, dude. It's not." Or like, "Hey, I don't care about anything. I have frame." I'm like, "Well, it could be." It's something that you just have to it has to be very clinical, and you have to keep repeating it because if you're not careful, you'll mess up what frame is and you won't understand it. So yeah, it's a good show. Watch it. It has a PowerPoint like this one. Excuse me. And all that. But yeah. So if you guys don't have any more questions or anything, um, we can do one more Alex
Are you
Jones.
trying to have sex with me?
Come on, guys. That smirk is so funny at the end. I have a photo of a girl with a baby pig. What does she do? Did they have to give it back? It's just so funny to me that she has the baby pig and then, like, 6 months later, she's like, "Why do you keep growing? Stop growing. Stop." And the pig is, like, getting hungrier and louder and more aggressive, um, and smellier and all that stuff, and she's just mad that she can't control this pig, and she's like, "Why can't you stop growing?" Oh my god, that's so funny, but alright, guys, well, I don't have much else. If you guys don't have any more questions, hopefully you guys get a lot of value out of this. Guys, follow me on my Substack if you haven't already. Put it here in the chat. I have a free actually, no, it's at the top of the chat. Um, I have a free article out. It's just talking about, the moral implosion of all the conservative people and people in general that kinda, like, wanna shame your choices. It's right here, guys, if you wanna click, it's at the top of the chat, and stuff. So, yeah, it's a free article. You guys read it, enjoy yourselves. And then, yeah, if for guys that are new here, I do live streams at, 9 PM Central on, Sundays. And I just talk about dating stuff and like mindset. Now I do feel recently that I'm going a little bit too abstract, and I am focusing a lot of like mindset. I kind of want to go back into very nitty gritty, nuanced stuff. But if you guys would like that, please comment below and let me know topics. I do appreciate the compliments, guys, but I also appreciate if you guys have things that you want me to talk about and break down. I'm not the greatest teacher on earth, but I will do my best and I will bring resources like PowerPoints. I know PowerPoints get a bad bad rap because we've all been either if you're in the military or at school or something, they're boring. But I try to move through them quickly and not make them wordy to help you guys kind of conceptualize stuff. But yeah, I just try to make it more intelligent. There's a lot of stupid people in the manosphere, right? Like just idiots. And as much as I wanted to be like, oh well, they're just acting out or they're playing the game of YouTube or social media. I'm just like, maybe there's a chance that these people are just stupid. A lot of people are just stupid. And I hate that it's been years that I decided, hey, don't call people stupid if they're doing better than you in life. Don't call people stupid if they're doing better than you at something you want to do good at. I know. But at the same time, I'm like, fuck. Maybe I'm not as stupid as I think. Maybe I'm not a genius or super smart, but maybe everyone around me is just dumb. And that's alarming to me. I should not be the smartest guy. Um, or one of the smartest people here. I should be like middle of the road. But here we are, me explaining things intelligently, or at least trying, and people are still on like hypergamy, bro. I'm like, guys, we got to move on from this. Like the definitions there, the article. It's a 6 paragraph article by Rollo on his website. Go read it. It's done. What it'll explain it. There's no need to research it. There's no need to prove it or disprove it or try to prove it to women. Just read that and it's done. We don't need to do 20 podcasts on hypergamy. Like just read it. And for what it's worth, we may have to in the future because people cycle in. But for the most part, there's more to life than just, hey, women are do this. Like, hey, where's the best place to take a girl on a date? What do you do after the first date? Let's say you had a first date and you didn't sexually escalate. What do you do now? Or let's say you kissed her, right? Or let's say you brought her to your apartment, last minute resistance, she left. Or let's say you actually had sex. What do you do in each of those 4 scenarios, right? Is anyone talking about that? Maybe, but those, how hard is it to find that exact information? It's fucking terribly hard. You can search it and it'll be some really like abstract or like it's just not the level of detail that you need to understand. Hey, what do you do after a first date? Honestly, I can tell you right now. What do you do after first date? If there's no sexual escalation, you're risking going on another date and not being any chemistry. So there's a risk there. And the second date better be at another bar where it's even more intimate. So if you went to a dive bar, the second date better be a um, a lounge where there's seats where your feet, your legs are going to be touching each other, where there's other attractive women and everyone is good looking and you're in a suit and she's in a dress and the lights are low. It better be even more intimate. There you go. There's your answer. Let's say, yeah, you kiss. Great. Um, Here you can invite her over for a second date. Hey, come over. I'm going to cook you a meal. It's still risky because you haven't had sex or you haven't gotten close to sex. It's just a kiss, right? But hey, you've broken the barrier of touch and intimacy, which is kissing. You may want to invite her to another date with drinks where it's an even more intimate setting or a better setting that leads up to kissing and something else. Number three, uh, last minute resistance. That means she was on your lap, her titties were out, and you were kissing and having a good time. You thought you were going to get laid, and then she pulls away last second. Great. Second date, my place. That right there, you don't go out for drinks. I mean, you can, but again, it has to be a more intimate location or at least a different location that's a little bit more intimate and lights or lighting is more sexy and there's more attractive people and it's classy or whatever. But hey, you can totally say, "Hey, come over and I'll cook you a meal," because she was getting close. She was getting close to trusting you and all that stuff. And then if you had sex, again, you can do anything you want at that point, right? You can say, "Hey, let's go grab a bite. Let's go grab lunch here." All right. And then she might be down. Or hey, she may be like, "Hey, can I come?" She might be the one saying, "Hey, can I come see you?" And all that stuff, right? And there you go. That didn't take me long to write off. Obviously, like I would stretch it over an hour, but who's giving that information and making it easy to find, you know? So that's what I want to focus on in the future. I like doing abstract concepts because before you even start dating, you need to have your head in the right place, or at least start having your head in the right place. And a lot of times you need somebody to like organize things, to put things in perspective, organize it. And like today, I said, hey, You're gonna sleep with two girls in a weekend. And you're gonna be like, what's wrong with me? Am I losing myself? What do people think? I'm like, no, dude, you're actually becoming a better person. Why is it that women like the alpha bad boy? And why is it they're portrayed as like an evil person? Well, it's because beta guys are the ones telling the story. Tell it from your perspective. You slept with two women. Both of them left your apartment happy. They kissed you on the cheek. They said thank you. One of them washed your dishes. The other one sent you a heart through text. Does anyone get hurt in the situation? As a matter of fact, you're doing your due duty, which is to keep these women happy. Those women are going to go to the office and treat all the men there happy. Have you guys ever worked a job where one of the women that's usually crabby out of nowhere is just happy and chill and brings everyone cupcakes? She got cracked. She got cracked really well. Some guy did his job. This girl was bitchy to everyone in the office, and one day she's just happy. She got her back blown out. And that's what your job is as a man, because these women are unhappy and bored. You are doing Lord's work out here. If you don't believe me, go on Twitter right now. Look at all these unhappy women just, oh, men ain't shit. Oh, I'm like, you haven't been cracked well in a while. Go get cracked. You're making it everyone else's problem. So, yeah, and this is why we have to write these concepts and put it, because I know what stops men. I know what slows them down. I know we're our own biggest enemy, and I know a lot of times men, when they're getting sexual success and all that stuff, they feel like, what am I becoming? I'm like, nothing, dude. Nothing. You're having fun. Just, be careful. Maybe use a condom, and the alcohol consumption. And if you need a break, take a break. Take a break. Take care of yourself and your goals first. But you're not a bad person because you're attractive and you have options and you decide to exercise them. Right? No morality in this dating stuff anyway. So, and you better know. Yeah. And for every time you sleep with one woman and you're spinning multiple plates, she's played around and wasted hundreds of men's time. So don't be sad. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys' participation in the chat, and putting up with me for 2 hours and 9 minutes, looks like. 2 hours and 2 minutes. And I will see you guys next week. I thought I was gonna say something else, but yeah, that's all I have. Yep. All right, guys, take care.